Welcome, everybody. Hans Martin Jr., the Real Movie Critic. Today I'm hosting the Real Awards, celebrating my personal opinions on movies of 2017. And it's been a pretty good year when it comes to movies. There has been some interesting movies, there have been some really good movies, and there have been some terrible movies. But we're here to celebrate the movies of 2017, in my opinion. Whether you agree or disagree, feel free to comment on any of my social media, and I will be more than happy to discuss it with you. All right, are you ready for the first award? I can't hear you. Okay, I hear one person at least. All right, just for that one person, let's start with the first category. My first category for this year is Funniest Movie of the Year of 2017. And the winner is Thor Ragnarok. I never ever would have thought that Thor would actually be a funny movie. I thought they were more for the dramatics with the these and thous and whatever. But man, I really was impressed with this film. It's definitely one of my favorite films of this year. The director Taika Waititi did a tremendous job in making a very, very good Thor film. I enjoyed it from the beginning to the end. There were some moments that I was laughing so hard out loud. It's really good. And if you hadn't seen it, trust me, it's nothing like the first two movies. It is something very different, something very fresh, and something very, very, very enjoyable. Let's move on to the next award. Best Animated Movie of 2017. And that belongs to the Lego Batman movie. I loved this movie. And with no disrespects to Coco, but this was my kind of film. It is funny. It is great for the family. Has some lesson learners. It has comic book characters of all the Batman lore. Loved this movie. And honestly, I am the only award show that actually gives some love to the Lego movies, unlike the Academy Awards or whatever. So, yeah, congratulations, Lego Batman movie, for winning the Best Animated Movie of 2017. Let's move on to the next. Best Nerd or Fanboy Movie of 2017. Do I really need to say it's 2017 anymore? Well, we all know it's 2017, right? Okay. Anyway, Best Nerd or Fanboy. And it was interesting, but with no disrespects to Wonder Woman, I have to give it to the Lego Batman movie because it does deal about comics. And let me tell you something, all you Batman fans that haven't seen it, watch it because they really did their research in their Batman lore. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen it and you love Batman the character, you will love this film. I'm telling you. Some people are saying, how is that your best movie of the year? I'm telling you guys, it is an enjoyable film. You can bring your kid and watch it. That is why. Congratulations to Lego Batman movie for winning 2 awards this year. Congratulations. Let's move on to the next award. The next one is not my favorite category, but it is something, and that is Best Romantic Movie of the Year. And the winner is, because it had some great writing, is The Big Sick. Congrats to Kumail Nanjiani for getting all this film all together, and it's really about his love life too. It's a true story about his girlfriend that they just break up, then she gets really sick and gets into a coma, and how he had to overcome that and talk to her parents, and then in the end, they're back together. Spoiler. But I really thought it was a romance movie that had very, very good writing, and it was funny too. It was very funny. And so, yeah, big ups to Kumail Nanjiani and his wife for making a pretty good movie. Let's move on to the next. Best Action Movie. And I have to give it to Kong Skull Island. When you talk about the best use of CGI, you got to look at this film of that year. man, I didn't think I was gonna like this movie a lot, but I really did, and it's meant because of the action and the special effects, all that cool war action, seeing Kong fight all these beasts. It really makes me look forward to the Monster Universe series, where eventually it's gonna lead up to King Kong versus Godzilla, which I am now looking forward to. Let's go, kaiju movies. Keep it going. It's a good blast from the past, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's move on to the next. Best Oscar nominated movie of the year. Now, I have to admit, this year when it comes to Oscar movies have been pretty weak, and I know I've said that before. But there was one movie that really I enjoyed, and that is The Post. The film about how they brought down Nixon and not even Nixon and the past presidents, about this whole war on Vietnam and how much lies that they keep preaching and all that. It's a great movie that stars two great actors in Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, and and it was also directed by Steven Spielberg. So all in all, it's a very good movie, and you have to check it out because I think out of all the Oscar movies, this one really stands out for me for sure this year. But I hope the Oscars could get better movies next year. But who knows? Sometimes they're very unpredictable. Whatever. All right, let's move on to the next category. My next award is the movie that exceeded my expectations. And once again, I have to give that award to Kong Skull Island. Out of all the movies that have really exceeded my expectations, there's been a couple like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Wonder Woman. But this one has to take the cake for me because that was the movie that I at least had expectations for. Very least. And when I started watching it, I was blown away. And it's definitely one of my favorite movies of this year. I didn't think they could make another great King Kong movie, but they pulled it off. And once again, I said this before, but it makes me look forward to the Monsters vs. Universe and seeing all these big monsters come together and start duking it out. I can't wait for that. Let's move on to the next. Most disappointing movie of 2017. And that goes to The Mummy. You would think a film about a mummy featuring Tom Cruise was going to be a really good movie. Oh my goodness. It was the worst. One of the worst movies I've seen this year. It really, oh my gosh, the story was terrible. The action was, it really made the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies really good compared to this one. And supposedly, this one was supposed to start this whole Universal universe with all the monsters and beasts and stuff like that. I think they call it the Dark Universe. But man, if that was the movie that represents the Dark Universe, I'm not looking forward to what they have next. I mean, it's not even up to par to the DC Extended Universe, and that's saying something. And Tom Cruise, I know you could do better, man. I guess Mission Impossible will help you that. But he also did American Made, which was really good. Anyway, let's move on to the next category. My next award is the movie that everybody liked, but I didn't. I just don't understand how people like Blade Runner 2049. And it was disappointing for me a little bit too because I really enjoyed the first Blade Runner movie. I really did. But this one, when you talk about neo-noir, that is at its fullest in this, man. The sci-fi in that movie, man, it was just too much for me. There were times that was boring. It was 3 hours, and I felt it. But a lot of people loved it. I get it. The cinematography and the production sets and everything were cool. I get that, but I mean, for spoiler, Harrison Ford was barely in that film, so I don't know. Me personally, I thought it was okay at best, but if people like it, man, more power to them. And another person that was barely there too was Jared Leto as a villain, and he was just a villain of talk. And so yeah, I just don't get it. But whatever. Let's move on to the next. My next award is a movie that almost everybody hated, but I actually kind of liked. And that goes to Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Pirates movie. I do like Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, and even though Javier Bardem as a villain in that film was kind of subpar, but I enjoyed it. I thought the action scenes were pretty good. It was entertaining. It wasn't boring. I thought it was a very good overall movie. Now, some people say it could be the worst in the series. I could agree with that, but to me, it's still good. So, should they end the franchise? Maybe, but I'm not gonna be mad if they did. Or maybe I will. Maybe that would be the worst movie. I don't know. Who knows? So let's move on to the next award. Weirdest movie. And I have to give it to Mother with the exclamation point. If you don't watch this film, you're going to be like confused. I know with me, I was confused of understanding what the whole point of this film. But man, when the movie progresses, it just got weirder and weirder and weirder. And after I did more research after watching this of what's the allegory about, and I'm just shaking my head. I was like, no, 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 no. Once again, director Darren Aronofsky is trying to disprove about religion and whatnot, which I am not all for. But regardless of what it means or not, the movie is weird. So if you do get a chance to check it out, just because Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem is in it doesn't mean it's good. It's just weird, weird, and I'll say it again, weird. Let's move on to the next. Creepiest movie of the year. I gotta give it to It. Man, Skarsgård really made that clown Pennywise really, really creepy. Man, that beginning scene, even though I know what's gonna happen, it was very, very creepy. Man, with all that teeth that they gave to this clown, ugh, that just gave me the creeps. And for a horror movie, I thought it really had a good story as well, dealing with different issues and about fear and whatnot. And yeah, even though it was very, very creepy, it was still a pretty good watch. So I could strongly recommend that. All right, let's move on to the next. The rare category of a movie that I refuse to watch this year. And any movie that involves a shark, I am not watching. And I'm still dreading about this Aquaman movie, which I hate Aquaman, I hate sharks. I don't even know if I want to see it, but as far as 47 meters down, can't do it. Couldn't do it. I'm sorry, can't do it. But I read the story about it. The story looks stupid anyways, so I don't think I really missed much for not watching it. But I just hate sharks. Sorry, Jaws. I just don't like you. Let's move on to the next. Movie with the best soundtrack. Now, both Baby Driver and Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2 had some great soundtracks, but for me, to win this award, you got to go with originality. And because of that, that's why I got to give it to The Greatest Showman. The songs that they have in this movie, I'm still humming along to a lot of the songs they have, which is very original songs about how the circus got started. And I still love the song "This Is Me." I think it's a very, very powerful song. It's something that do hit close to home. But if you haven't seen it, I know some people are not a fan of musicals. I'm not a fan of musicals myself, but I do believe this one is a very fun movie to watch and enjoy the music. I strongly, strongly recommend it. Let's move on to the next. Movie with the best quote of 2017. Oh, there I go with the 2017 again. But that belongs to an Oscar-nominated movie that I really didn't like because it's too boring, which was Darkest Hour. But with all that said, I do believe that Gary Oldman deserves that Oscar win for Best Actor, playing Winston Churchill, and bringing out the best quote where he goes against some people and it says, "Will you stop interrupting while I'm trying to interrupt you?" I thought that line was hilarious and probably the best part of the movie. And yeah, that was just a great line, for sure. Let's move on to the next. Here's a new category for this year. A movie that made me cry in 2017. And I'm going to try to hold it in. But that belonged to Coco. The part where... Hold it in. Hold it in. Hold it in. Okay. The part where the little kid starts singing "Remember Me" to his great grandma just to make her remember her father. That was a powerful moment, and it really gave me some tears. I ain't gonna lie. And it's very rare that I cry in movies, but that was just a very, very powerful moment. Okay, I gotta keep going before I lose myself. Let's go on to the next category. And my last award for this year, and that is the movie with the W.T. Heck moment. And I gotta give it to Alien Covenant. And it's mainly with the scene of Michael Fassbender, who plays a robot, meets his old robot self. And it looked like it was just so weird. And it got to a point where he was kissing himself pretty much, acting wise. But in the film, he was kissing his other robot. That was just weird. And then the whole flute thing, and I mean, that got me shaking my head. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And yeah, but I still like you, Michael Fassbender. But man, that was just weird. All right, guys, that is it for my 2017 Real Awards. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you agree or disagree, feel free to comment on any of my social media. We could talk about anything that we did. But with all that said, be sure to support The Real Movie Critic at GoFundMe.com/real-movie-critic. I would really appreciate it if you could, even if it's just $1, if you could give that to me. That would be great. Also, this Sunday, I plan to do a Facebook Live preview and review on the film Solo, a Star Wars story. It's a film that I have mixed feelings on, but I'm hoping to see if it's enjoyable. I do like the character of Han Solo. But we'll see. And that will be this Sunday. Time to be arranged, but definitely check it out and see what happens. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Until the next time, I'll see you there.